Hey, friend. Hey, and welcome back to the weekly rant. You know what I'm saying? This is where I come on here each and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to be able to just rant and talk about some stuff. Whatever the topic is that comes up throughout the week, then that's normally the topic that I talk about. And the topic for this week has definitely been to keep going. I know that life, you know what I'm saying? Life can seem like so much sometimes, honestly. And it's just a matter of making sure that you keep going no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, no matter what is happening, you have to keep going. Because at the end of the day, like, I've been dealing with stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff these last couple of weeks. And it's just been like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, and then I'll get a break and be like, hey, I can finally focus on this, have some time to breathe, different stuff like that. And then I'll be like, man, but it's also a matter of these points come to test your faith, right? These points come to test your faith. These points come to test just how bad you really want it. Because you say you want that dream, that goal, that vision, but how committed are you to the process? How committed are you to staying true to those dreams, to those goals, to those visions? Because if you're just able to get sidetracked or get distracted or be thrown off track just because you things aren't going your way, something comes your way, different things like that, if that is what's going to knock you off your goal, if that is what's going to knock you off your pivot, then truth be told, then you might not be ready for it. Honestly, like, I can let you guys know, I can be transparent and let you guys in on some real stuff. Like, so a couple of months ago, I got confirmation to leave my job, right? I got confirmation to leave my job, step out to be doing my business stuff and really focus on my business and everything like that. And then ever since then, like, at first it was like, all right, this is exciting, this is cool, let's go, we got this, you know what I'm saying? And then bills started rolling around. It's like, okay, okay, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just find it's just the fact of, are you going to stay true to the process? Are you going to keep the faith? Are you going to continue to go on the journey that God told you to go? Just like I've heard it from so many people, so many sermons that I've listened to, so many motivational messages that I've listened to over the last couple of days. It's just like, if you would have known what it was going to cost you, you wouldn't have even started out on the journey in the first place. So that is the process of stepping out on faith. Like, you might not even know what is going on. So I don't care what it's looking like. Whatever the situation is, however your family is acting, however your kids are acting, whatever is going on around you, you have to keep going regardless. Because at the end of the day, this is your dream. This is your goal. These are the things that you said that you wanted. So how committed are you to the process? How committed are you to making sure that you stay true to the things that you set out to do? Because yes, life is going to happen. But guess what? You think all of the Tony Robbins and Gary V's and Coach Stormies and Lisa Nichols and all of those people, you think they ain't go through nothing? You think they don't go through anything? They had to go through some things and grow to some things to be able to get to where they are. And what makes you think that you're the person that's just going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be a cakewalk for me? Like, no, I understand that you went through those things and you had to face those trials and tribulations and you had to go through those things, but it's going to be a cakewalk for me. Nah, friend, that ain't how it goes. That's not how it's going to work out, honestly. Because whenever you say that you want something, whenever you say that you're committed to something, whenever you say that this is my dream, this is my passion, these are the things that I want to do, this is the legend that I want to create, this is the legacy that I want to leave behind, this is the mark that I want to make in this world, guess what? Life gonna test you. Life gonna see how serious you are. How serious are you in regards to those things? You say you wanted to be the next greatest, whatever the case may be. Okay, we're going to test you and see how serious you are in regards to that. All right, you got some things going on, things, your family start acting funny, your money start looking funny, things start feeling a little weird. You might go through some depression here and there. You may go through some times whenever you're really questioning yourself, because let's be real, I'm sure that all entrepreneurs can relate. People that are working towards their dreams, their goals, their visions. I'm pretty sure that everybody can relate to the fact of whenever you've been in a position and you're working towards your things, right? You're showing up the way that you say you're going to show up. You're doing the things that you say you're going to do. You're really creating those things. You're really creating that legacy. You're really crafting these speeches and crafting your courses and crafting the things that you want to do, and you're continuously showing up. I'm sure that we all have gotten to a place where it's like, dang, is anybody even paying attention? Is anybody here listening to me? Is anybody here showing up? But guess what? Even if don't nobody else show up, you got to show up. You got to show up for you. You got to show up for your brand. You got to show up for your business. You got to show up for your dream, your goal, your vision. You have to continuously keep going. No matter what, life will test you. Believe me, it's not easy. I I'm always a person that says that you can't speak from a place of experience unless you've experienced it. So people that talk about, oh, depression and different things like that, if you've never went through depression, if you've never been in a place contemplating even still being here and still being alive, you can't talk from that space, right? I can talk from that space though, because I've been there. I've been in that moment. I've been in that moment where it felt like everything that could go wrong was going wrong, and so much was happening and so much was going on. And I was just like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like in that time frame, in that period, that darkest moment of my life, in that period, I felt like the best thing to do was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, check up out of here, right? I felt like that was the best thing for me to do. But I'm glad that I didn't, because I thought about my kids. I thought about what's going to happen to my kids if I'm not here, right? For parents that are out there, I know that you can relate, because whenever you think about it, leaving your kids to be raised by someone else, leaving your kids to be like entrusted in the care of someone else, you can't hang yourself on that. You can't just be like whatever, because people will be okay as long as you're around, right? People will be okay as long as they know that your kids are going to be able to reach out to you and different stuff like that. But if you're not in a place where you're checking on your kids, you're tapping in with your kids, then there's no telling how they would treat them. And that is the thing that made me be like, you know what? Nah, I can't end this. This is my story, does not end here, right? So even with everything that I'm going through in my life now, I think back to that time and I know that this is just a test. And oftentimes, whenever we get to places where it's a test, then we like to feel like, oh, it's why am I being punished? Oh, why is this going on? Oh, why is that going on? Instead of looking at it as a test, this is not meant to break you. This is not meant to keep you from progressing. This is meant to build your character. This is meant to build your endurance. This is meant to build your faith. This is meant to build you and make you that much stronger. I know everybody has a cliche line that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers and all of that good stuff. And it's true. And I know whenever, if you're a person and you're facing those battles and you like, hey, yo, God, like, come on, man. Like, can I just get a pass one time? Like, I get it. You just got to go through those things and grow through those things. And you have to understand the lesson that is in those trials and tribulations. You have to understand the lesson that is in those moments. Take accountability for how you ended up there in the first place. Sometimes it may be something that is in your control. Sometimes it may be something that is not in your control. But guess what? You still have to take accountability in regards to that and take a look. Maybe it's some people that you're hanging around that you don't need to be hanging around with no more. You know you should have been cut them off. You know you should have been stopped associating with them. You know you should have been stopped having those dealings, stop answering the phone, stop texting back and forth, all of those different things like that. But you're still continuously doing it. Look at those things. Maybe you haven't been a good steward of your finances. I haven't been a good steward of my finances. That's why I am where I am. But I can own that. I can take accountability for that. And going forward, I know that going through the moment that I'm going through right now, I know that it doesn't feel good and I don't like it. And I know that going forward, I'm going to do what I have to do to ensure that once I get from this place, that I never have to revisit it. And that's what you have to do whenever you're going through these things, because there's a reason that you're going through these things. There's a reason that you're facing these things. There's a reason that all of these things are transpiring and these things are happening. But you have to take a moment to step back. It doesn't mean that you have to suppress your feelings or anything like that. No, I done cried like 5 times this week. It doesn't. Embrace those feelings. Embrace those emotions. If you mad, if you pissed off, then go off one time. One time for the one time. Go off one time. Reasonably though. Don't don't like beat nobody up or have to be in a place where you gotta go to jail or anything like that. Like, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just like, reasonably. I'm telling you that you just gotta do what you gotta do to release those emotions, because if you just keep them harbored in and bottled up and you suppress them, they're gonna spin the block. They're going to spin the block, and they're going to spin the block whenever you least expect it. So embrace those emotions, embrace those feelings, embrace those things that you're feeling in that moment. Cry about it if you have to. And then, you know what? Just like everybody that has been checking on me today, everything like that, like, you good, you good, you good. Yeah, I cried about it yesterday, right? I cried about it yesterday. Today is a new day. It's time to get to it. Right. And that's the type of mindset that you got to have. You can't stay stuck in those places where you're continuously going through the motion, revisiting the thing, continuing to allow yourself to be affected by the thing or anything like that. You have to embrace the emotions, deal with them, and then, all right, what do we need to do to move on? What do we need to do to move forward? What do we need to focus on now? Because staying stuck there in those emotions and those feelings, that's not going to change nothing. That's not going to do nothing for your situation right now. That's not going to do nothing for the things that you're facing right now, honestly. So you have to definitely embrace those emotions, see exactly what's going on right now in this moment. What is causing all of these things to transpire? Because guess what? At the end of the day, whenever you're going through a lesson, that lesson will continuously repeat itself until you learn, until you get to a place of learning. And I don't know about you, but you know what? I'm good. Just run me through one time and I'm good, big dog, right? Like, I do not want to keep going through the same lessons, honestly. So you just got to take accountability for that. Take a look at that. See what that is. If it's having to reshape your boundaries, stand strong on your boundaries, reshape how you interact with people, what you do with certain people, different things like that. Like, you have to get to that place of really noticing those things so you can understand why you are where you are and what you need to do to be able to get out of where you are. But it doesn't mean for you to lose your faith. Don't lose your faith, honestly. And I talk about God because I believe in God, you know what I'm saying? All of that good stuff. Shouts out to all y'all, all my Christians, all of that good stuff. But definitely, it's just a matter of whenever you're going through things and you're facing things, you just have to understand that it's not like picking at you. It's not something that is picking at you. It is not something that is meant to break you. It's meant to build you up. It's meant to build you up. It's meant to make you that much stronger. It's meant to make you that much more resilient. It's meant to add to your story, because guess what? Whenever you go through those things, now you have grown through those things, and now you can be able to talk to and help somebody else that may be facing that same thing or may have went through that same thing, but they didn't know how to deal with it. Like, your story is meant to help somebody else. Your story is meant to be able to bring somebody else up. Your story is meant to be able to encourage somebody else that may be in that same situation or may have been in that same situation, but they felt like nobody would understand and nobody would be able to relate. Because truth be told, a lot of us face a lot of the same things, but until we start being verbal about it and being open about it, then other people don't know what you don't went through. But thank God we don't look like we don't went through, okay? Because baby. But honestly, it's just a matter of making sure that you don't lose your faith. Don't lose your faith, because this isn't meant to break you. This isn't sent to make you give up. This isn't sent to discourage you. This isn't sent to make you throw in the towel or turn around or anything like that. This is sent to build you up. This is sent to make you that much stronger. This is sent to make you see, like, hey, maybe it's one of those things where, like how we're talking to our kids, right? And like for my parents that are out there, how you're talking to your kids and you tell them not to do something and then they do it anyway. And then you like, hey, don't do that. And then they do it anyway. And you like, hey, don't do that. And then next thing you know, you got to be like, pop them to be like, I told you not to do that. Sometimes God got to pop us. Honestly, sometimes God got to pop us to make us pay attention, because then we're like, okay, you know what? I'm listening now. I was listening before, maybe a little bit, but wasn't really paying attention. But now I'm listening. I'm listening. I got it. I got it. And sometimes it does take that. But don't allow it to be one of those situations where you got to go through a near death experience before you get to that place. Because a lot of people, they don't get to the place of waking up and to do the things that they need to do and making a change in their life, making a change in their circle, and doing all of these drastic things until it's a near death experience. Don't allow don't allow it to have to be a near death experience to make you really put some fire up under your tail. Be like that. Allow it just to be whatever the case may be, whatever is going on. Embrace those challenges, embrace those moments, and be like, you know what? I've got to get it together. This is the point where enough is enough, and I'm not going to allow myself to go through this anymore. I'm not going to allow my family to have to face these things anymore, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to make it happen. Period. Don't allow it to have to get to a more serious situation that's even more serious, where it comes down to life or death, and then you're like, you know what? God, if you would just save my life, then I'm going to do right. No, 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 no. Don't allow it to get that far. If it has to get that far, it will. But I'm telling you, don't allow it to get that far. I can't speak from a place of experience on that, because thank the Lord that I ain't never been there. But I mean, I've watched some stuff when some people have went through those things. But at the end of the day, it's all a matter of just embracing the process. The process isn't always going to be a cakewalk. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be one of those things where you're waking up. Some days you may wake up full of energy, energized, ready to tackle the day, ready to tackle the things that you got to do, ready to go through just, hey, let's go, let's get it, let's make it happen. Woo, 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 woo. Some days you're going to have all of that energy. Some days you're going to wake up and you ain't going to feel like doing none of it. You're just going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Some days you're going to wake up and you're going to be full of energy and you're going to be bubbly and you're going to be ready to tackle things. And then one thing after the other thing after the other thing going to start coming at you, right? Because the thing is that even whenever you are in a place of amazing energy, great things, sometimes those things do come your way. Those obstacles do come your way. Those tests, those trials, those tribulations, they do come your way. But what are you going to do about them whenever they come? Are you going to let them break you? Are you going to let them make you turn around? Are you going to let them keep you from getting to where you want to be? Or are you going to utilize them as stepping stones? Utilize them as character building things. One of the greats said it best, that whenever you have a bad day, you don't have to say it's a bad day. You can say, I'm having a character building day. I'm having a character building day. This is a day that is building my character. This is a day that is testing exactly how bad do I want it. This is a day that is testing me to see if I'm going to stick to the things that I said I'm going to do. And I challenge you to stick to the things that you say that you're going to do, the things that you set out to do in this life, the things that you set out to do in this world. Like, I challenge you to stay committed to those things. Even whenever life tries to throw everything at you that you can possibly imagine. I have friends that are going through the loss of family members. I have people that are going through dealing with stuff from their parents. I have people that are going through things with their family. I'm going through things with my kids. I'm going through things with my finances. It's just one of those things that you got to grow through. You got to grow through it. Don't allow it to break you. Don't allow it to break you. Don't allow it to make you turn around. Don't allow it to make you second guess yourself or question yourself for where you are in this process. Because what will happen a lot of times whenever we are in those places, we'll be like, dang, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should, maybe I should have listened to such and such and just went and got that job at such and such and whatever the case may be. Maybe I should have just went and took advantage of that opportunity, even though it didn't feel right to me, even though it didn't match or align with my values or anything like that. But it was gonna bring me some money though. But maybe I should have just did that. It makes you second guess yourself, and it makes you question yourself. It makes you question where you are in the process. It makes you question where you are as far in your mindset, all of that. But you have to stay focused. You have to stay encouraged. You have to know that you are going through this for a reason, and it's not meant to make you give up. That doesn't mean to throw in the towel. That doesn't mean to turn around. That doesn't mean to start back at square one. Because guess what? The only thing that's guaranteed if you quit is that you will fail. That's what's guaranteed if you quit. If you quit, it's guaranteed that you're going to fail. So I challenge you not to quit. Don't quit. Don't give up. Cry if you must. Scream if you must. Vent if you must. Go throw some bricks at a wall, some glass at a wall, go to the break room, whatever you got to do. Do what you got to do to be able to release those emotions and to be able to deal with where you are right now. But don't you dare give up, ever. No matter where you are in the process, no matter what is going on in your life in this moment, don't you dare give up. Don't turn around. Don't quit. It's going to get better. Things are going to get better. This too shall pass. It's all just temporary. Something that keeps me going a lot of times whenever I'm going through things is that I think about this quote that this woman, I forgot her name, but she spoke during the most powerful women in network marketing. And she said that this, what did she say? That this is just a stepping stone and it's going to make a great story later. This is just a stepping stone and it's going to make a great story later. So whenever you look at those things like that and you think about those things like that, then it helps you to be able to get through that much more. There's another quote that I use where it's like, this is not my life. Things are going to get better. This is not my life. So you have to look at those things. You have to find you some quotes. Put them up on your walls. I got quotes everywhere on my wall. If you come to my house, like a lot of people be, my friend be like, yo, you remind me of being Mary Jane. Mary Jane on being Mary Jane, because all of these quotes and everything all over the wall. Like, yes, I have quotes everywhere on my walls because I got to have some encouragement, some motivation. Honestly, I'm the motivational queen. I gotta be able to pour into my cup too, as I pour into you guys' cup. So get you some quotes, get you some things that remind you of exactly who you are. Another thing that you could use, another tactic that you could try, is writing a letter to yourself. Whenever you're in that space of feeling good and everything, write you a letter to yourself, just loving on you, letting yourself know, like, hey, you got this, different stuff like that. Like, I know you may be facing some things. And then, so that way, whenever you have those dark moments, or you have those moments where you feel like giving up, or you have those moments where you feel like throwing in the towel, you go and read this letter that you wrote to yourself, and then it empowers you and it encourages you to be that much greater. Like, you know what? This ain't gonna break me. This not gonna stop me. Start with those things. Journal. Start journaling. If you guys have noticed, I've started doing this thing Monday through Fridays where I do what I call the daily reflection, where it's a tactic that I learned where you basically, I keep a Google Doc where I write out everything that I've been going throughout the day. I write out everything that I've been feeling, what I faced, all of that stuff. And then I get it converted into a message. That way I could be able to share it with you guys in a synopsis of 150 characters. So that has really been helping me to just be like zero in on what it is that I need to do, what it is that I need to focus on. Is it easy? No. This walk is not easy. Continuously going after your goals is not easy. Walking by faith and not by sight is not easy, because a lot of times we hear in society that seeing is believing. So we feel like we need to know every move, everything that's supposed to be going on and everything like that. But what happens whenever you got to be in a place that you don't know what the is going on, you don't understand what is going on, but you still got to remain solid in your character and what you're doing, and that dream, that goal, that vision that you said that you wanted to do. What happens then? Can you still continue to have your faith? Can you still trust the process? Can you still believe in the bigger vision? Or are you going to start looking at something else? You have to stay down. Everybody talks about stay down till you come up, but you don't understand what that entails. Staying down until you come up entails you staying no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter which way the wind blows, no matter whether you get one client or 10 clients or no clients, you have to stay the course, stay the process, and know that it doesn't mean that it's a failure. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that it's continuously building your character. It's continuously seeing just how bad that you want it. Because if you're a person and you just start out on something and you don't get the views, you don't get the likes, you don't get the things, all of that stuff, you don't get the fast turnaround and the rampant amount of people that you feel like you should got, and then you just turn around and be like, you know what? Knew it was going to work anyway. But had you just stayed consistent, right? Had you just stayed consistent, had you just kept going, had you just kept showing up anyway, no matter what, then the people would have came. Everybody that you see that is big, it was once small. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, what else? Facebook, Instagram, all of these people, all of these places, all of these things, they were once small. They had to start somewhere. Where it's like, hey, yo, man, I got this idea. I got this thing that I'm doing. Woo 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 woo. I really think it's gonna be the next biggest thing. They had to face the people that are like, my space popping though. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. Now look at it. Facebook, Meta own just about everything. Honestly. So you have to look at it in that aspect. Everything that is now big was once small. These trials, these tribulations, these things that you're going through, these things that you're facing, they won't break you. Not if you don't let it. They won't break you if you don't let it. That means that you got to stay committed. Stay committed to the process. Stay committed to the journey. Understand that you will get through this. Understand that this pain is just temporary. Understand that there's greatness on the other side. But you know what? You got to push through the other side to be able to get to it. It's not just going to come to you. It's not just going to fall in your lap. It's not just going to be like, poof, here. You got to put in the work. You've got to have the faith. You've got to have the resilience. You've got to continuously show up and keep going. Keep going no matter what. Don't allow things to discourage you. Don't allow people to discourage you. Stop associating with certain people if you got to. Stop having conversations with certain people if you got to. The most dangerous thing that you can do, especially whenever you are in a place of dealing with trials or tribulations or different things like that, the most dangerous thing that you can do is start talking to a person that never believed in you in the first place. That's the most dangerous thing that you could do, because they'll act like they're listening. They'll act like they're okay. They'll act like everything is cool and everything is fine. But secretly, they're like, yeah, I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to happen. And they'll start planting seeds of doubt in your mind and make you think like, maybe I don't need to do this. Maybe I need to be. No, stay away from those people. Get around some people that's going to encourage you. Get around some people that have went through that, but they're in a better space. Get around some people that are going to uplift you, that are going to be like, hey, man, I understand that you're going through this. Woo, woo, woo. Just know that I've been there and it gets better on the other side. Honestly, stay around some people that are going to encourage you, uplift you, inspire you, hold you accountable to do better, and continue to keep going. All right. Whew, I know I talked about a lot today. honestly, I just talked about keep going. And the synopsis, the thing about today is to keep going no matter what. No matter what is happening, no matter what is going on, no matter what you're facing, keep going. Keep showing up. Even if you're the only person showing up for you, you keep showing up regardless. I don't care if you ain't got the views. I don't care if you ain't got the likes. I don't care if you ain't got the comments. I don't care if you ain't got the support. And another thing, see, I was about to end it, but this thing just popped into my mind that a lot of times, whenever you're in a space and you start seeing like, oh, these people aren't supporting me, different things like that, maybe that means that I shouldn't be doing this. No, maybe it just means that you're talking to the wrong people. Maybe it just means that you need to get outside of the circle of people that you've been talking to, and it's time to go and reach some more people, some new people, have some new conversations, make some new connections. Because if you continue to stay in this circle of people, then that will discourage you, because you're like, dang, I already asked them and I know they ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even supporting me. Woo woo woo, or da 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 da. Like, okay, that's fine. Get and talk to some more people. Go and talk to some more people. Go and meet some new people. Go and make some new connections. All right, that's really all I got for y'all. Definitely, if you have anything that you would like for me to come on and talk about on Thursdays, this is where I just rant. I just come on here and rant on Thursdays about whatever comes to my mind, whatever I've been facing. If anybody sends me a specific topic, anything like that, definitely, if you're a person and you need help with accountability, you need an action plan, you need some social media graphics, you need any type of coaching, support, motivation, whatever the case may be, definitely book a call with me. Go to IamMoet.us or scan the QR code that's here on the screen, and then go and schedule a consultation with me. We'll hop on the phone. We'll see where your mindset is. We'll see exactly what's going on, and then we'll see exactly what's the best strategy for you moving forward. So go to www.iammoet.us or scan the QR code that's on the screen, or you could text READY, READY, to 678-653-2024. All right, that's really all I got for you guys. Definitely remember that if you are a person that is having a bad day, you're just having a bad day, not a bad life. Life is too short to be anything but motivated. Now get out there and turn your dreams into a vision and make that your reality. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.